Hey there everyone, my name is Namish and in this video we are going to talk about AWS API Gateway. Now API Gateway is a service provided by AWS through which you can create your own REST APIs. Now a REST API is a way through which you can communicate between front-end and a backend. Now if suppose front-end wants some data from the backend, it calls some method on that REST API and the backend returns the requested data. So REST stands for representational state transfer. State is basically the state of the database or the backend which is being transferred to the front end so that it can be displayed to the user. So it's basically a way through which two programs communicate with each other. Now if you go to the official documentation on this link, it says that Amazon API Gateway is a AWS service for creating, publishing, maintaining, monitoring, and securing REST and HTTP or a WebSocket API at any scale. So it is used to develop a REST API or a WebSocket API at any scale, means it is quite scalable. So to get started, you need one AWS account. So just log in into the AWS account and navigate to the API Gateway. Just go to the service and type API Gateway. So I'm already into the API Gateway console. So here are a couple of type which API Gateway offers. First one is HTTP API, WebSocket API, REST API or a REST API in private, which is in a VPC or a virtual private cloud. Now a virtual private cloud in itself, it's a very vast topic, so I think it will be good that if I'll cover that in a separate video. In this video I'll keep my focus on the REST API. We can also create the WebSocket APIs for real-time communication, but we are going to explore REST APIs in this particular video. So just click on the build. Yep, we are going to create our first API. Click OK, and we are going to create a new API. Just give it a API name. In my case, I'm going to give it as YouTube YouTube tutorial description, a dummy API for YouTube. The endpoint will be regional. I'll be hosting it in this region, US East 1. So I'm gonna select the regional endpoint. Just hit on create API and it's gonna create one new API for us. Now if I have to tell you the how a REST APIs look like, so it's a URL HTTPS for example .com/v1/ let's suppose endpoint is YouTube. Now this is the base URL. https://abc.com is a base URL. Then we have v1, that is deployment stage. Like instead of v1 we can have prod or dev. Now these are basically the deployment stage, and the next part is this, the endpoint. This is basically called as resource. So now we are going to create one resource. Let's give the resource name as YouTube, and the resource path will be /YouTube. Enable API Gateway course. So course is like a cross origin header request, so I think it's not worth it to enable the course request, and if we enable the course request, it's gonna forward all the incoming data in that API to the source. So I'll leave it unchecked and create a resource. Now our resource is created successfully. Now we are going to create one method in this resource. So there are a couple of methods offered by REST APIs, for example put, patch, delete, get. So I'm going to create one post method because later on I'll be sending a JSON object to the function which I'll be gonna creating in a minute. So just click create and it's gonna create one HTTP post function. Now we have to link this function to some other resources from where this function can fetch the details or the data. So here are a couple of options. For example, a Lambda function or a pre-built HTTP or some other AWS service. So in this example, we are going to create one Lambda function. So just go to the Lambda console. So in the Lambda, we are going to create a function. Yes, we are going to create a function from scratch. Let's give it a name as YouTube Lambda. Runtime will be Node.js, and in the permissions, we are going to create one permission or execution role. Basically, it's gonna create one policy in the IAM, that is Entity and Identity Access Management. So that policy will contain certain policies for accessing CloudWatch so that we can access all the logs there. So it's gonna create one basic Lambda permission policy, and it's gonna attach to that policy to our Lambda function. So just click create, and it's gonna create one Lambda function for us. So it's gonna take some time. So till then, let's create a model like the how the data should look like when we are going to send it through a JSON object. So just click on the models, and we are going to create one model. Let's give a model name as YouTube. Just keep Y as capital just for a naming convention. The content type will be application JSON. We are going to send a JSON data in the request body. Model description, a model for YouTube API. And in the schema part, let's copy this schema. I have already prepared a JSON schema for you. So the schema type will be object, title will be, let's say, YouTube. The properties will be email, name and message. Email will be of type string and the format will be of type email. Name will be of type string and a message will be of type string. And all these fields will be required. So just create a model. Now our model is created successfully, as you can see that. Now till then we are going to write our Lambda function. So here it's a basic bare minimum Lambda function. So we are just going to return a message to the user. For example, we are going to say email colon event dot email. We are going to get all the fields in this event object. And message, let's use the backticks and string literals. Name of the sender has sent a message, and then we are going to fetch the message from the event object. So as of now we are going to send this basic bare minimum response to the front end. Now you can have a complex logic here which can use AWS SDK or your own business logic, and you can send the response back to the front end. So just click save. So our Lambda function is saved successfully. Now in the API gateway we are going to link this Lambda function to our method. So just click on the post method and choose Lambda function. Use Lambda proxy integration. Request will proxy to the Lambda with request detail. Now if you check this, the request, the details coming in the request, like all the headers and all the information which is attached to the request, is gonna forward to the Lambda function. So as of now we don't need that. So just select the Lambda function and click save. Yes. So we have successfully linked our API with this Lambda function. So what is it's gonna do is the request will arrive this method request. It will call our Lambda function. It will directly send the response back to the client. Now to test this API we are going to deploy this API. So to deploy this API, from the actions drop down, choose deploy API. Now we are going to select a deployment stage. Now deployment stage is basically this one, which I have told you earlier, that dev, whether it's gonna be for dev or prod or like staging servers. It depends upon the use case, like what kind of development stage do you want, what kind of deployment stage do you want. So as of now we are going to create a new deployment stage. Let's name it as prod. Description, production stage, and let's leave the description as it is, like empty, and hit deploy. So the base URL for this is displayed here. Just copy it, and we are going to use Postman to test our API. So just copy this base URL, select the method as post, and our endpoint was YouTube. Now if we hit the send, it's not going to work, like undefined has sent a message undefined, because we are not sending any data in the body. So just click on the body. We are going to send the raw data of type JSON. Email, and let's give it a message. API gateway is awesome. Now if we send this request, we are going to get the response email test@thetest.com, and the message as Namish has sent a message, API gateway is awesome. So you can see that our Lambda function is working fine and our API is also working fine. So we are getting the same response, email as event.email and a message as this hard-coded message. Now there is one glitch in this API. For example, if we somehow miss this email and hit the send option, then also this API is gonna work, because we are getting email as empty, but in the model we have defined that email should be a required field. Now the next question is that how we are going to enable the validation. Now to enable the validation, go on to the method. First of all, go on to the resources, go on the method for which you want to enable the validation, go on the method request, and here we are going to enable the validation. So select validate body and hit save, and we should attach a model to this request. Add model, the type will be application JSON, and model name will be YouTube. Hit save. Now as we have made some changes in the API, we need to redeploy this API. So just click on the deploy API, and we are going to choose the same deployment stage, that is prod, and hit deploy. So our API is deployed successfully. The URL is gonna remain same. Now if we test the API, it's gonna take some time to reflect the changes. Now you can see that the message is invalid request body, because we are not sending the email field, and the status code is 400 bad request. Now if we bring back that email field and send that request again, now you can see that the status code is 200 and we are getting the success response. Now if we we mess up with the email format of the email and then hit send, then our validation is working fine. So now this is how the API gateway works. Obviously we can go more deep into this, so if you want we can cover this in separate videos. So as of now I have given you much idea about how to create these APIs, how to create a basic Lambda functions to integrate those APIs and write your own business logic. Now if you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you have any doubts, please comment. I'll try to reply each and every comment, And if you like our work, please support us by sharing our videos and subscribing to our channel. Thanks for watching this video. I'll surely catch you up in the next video. Till then, bye.